Meine Damen und Herren, Mesdames et Messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Alone in a Room, starring me, Connor Lewis, as I say, all alone in a room. First order of business. I get it. It's been a hot minute, okay? The things I do for you guys, the goals, the ambitions that I try to accomplish and achieve for you guys, only to realize that I am not a professional. There's a cat scratching my door. The things I do for you guys, only to find out that I am not a professional, I am but amateur. Amateur, okay? I purchased a brand new microphone so I can start having guests on my podcast, and my very first one was gonna be my brother, my flesh and blood, if you will. Microphone didn't work. Couldn't connect it to the app, couldn't sync it up with my receiver. Do I even know what the receiver does? Not really. I know that this one that I hold right now is the transmitter. It's vocab time. Vocab lesson, AV. Where are my AV tech people at? Because I'm about to school you with my knowledge right now. This is called a transmitter, I think. This transmitter takes the audio that comes from my vocal cords themselves, the treasure box, if you will, and casts it off to the receiver, which, shockingly enough, receives it, processes it up, and that's what's plugged into my camera. So I purchased a second transmitter so that I can have someone right here next to me, preferably my own flesh and blood. Remember, it's called callback. Preferably my own flesh and blood sitting next to me. Couldn't work. Couldn't sync them up. Come to find out, I need to purchase a $22 tiny little cord branded by this company. Bro, why won't any old lightning cable work? I mean, I'm just gonna say it. Why won't any other lightning cable work? What fancy wires are so different inside this tiny one that can't make the big one work? I have a big cord, why won't it work? So that didn't work out, apologies. Now, I was in Seattle for a week, visiting my brother, and I was hoping to take this podcast abroad. Take it cross country. I'm manifest destinying this podcast. Well, at least I tried to. I packed up my camera, I packed up my stand, I packed up everything that I needed, only to find out I couldn't. Also, the universe made my brother and I sit in traffic for at least an hour and a half. We were late to our hike. And by the time we got back to his place, we had to do our polar plunge. That was 100% on the docket before I left. We had no time to film. Because who came home? My brother's girlfriend. And it just wouldn't have been genuine if Emma was sitting off camera. I only have one extra microphone. I can't have two guests on the pod unless they're holding it between them like this. Now, and that's not comfortable for anyone. So I was in Seattle. Had plans to have a guest, didn't work out. Sorry. I was in Seattle, and then I came back. Lo and behold, I have now spent minimum 24 years on this earth. Happy birthday to me, your host, you guys. If you want to send me presents, let me know. I'll send you my address. Send me gifts. I love gifts. Speaking of gifts, did I treat myself? Yes, I did. Am I going to go over what I treated myself with? Yes, I will. Number one is clothes. I'm not wearing any of them now. But Ashley and I went shopping for my birthday, as people do, and I said, I'm not gonna get anything. The only places that I want to look at are places that have shorts, because I need shorts that aren't riding up my butt crack anymore, because I'm growing up. I need shorts that are nice and slim. I need a good small inseam, but I don't need them snatching what little I already have and shooting straight up the butt crack. So I just need normal pairs of shorts. Lo and behold, I bought 3 shorts and a nice loose crop shirt that I didn't crop myself, funny enough. And it's such a great lounge shirt. I take it climbing. I wear it all the time around the house. This is not it, but it's a fantastic shirt. I'll let you guys know when I wear it here. Next up, you could probably already tell, I treated myself to Art the Clown Funko Pop. And not only, you know what? It could potentially be fake. I'm going to admit that right now. I bought it from a semi-sketchy store. I spent like 15 minutes trying to decipher if it was fake or not and looking up what are the symbols of a fake Funko Pop. But I think it's real because I scanned the little barcode on the bottom and it came up in my Funko Pop app. So we have Art the Clown Funko Pop. Welcome him to the fam. And you know what? I'm going to throw a bonus one in there. I also got a Pennywise with spider legs. I got my horror clown Funko Pops, my horror clowns. These are my horror clowns. I love them so much. And I would like to officially welcome them to my podcast family. And I still haven't unboxed them because I don't have enough floating shelves for them to sit on right now. Now, speaking of floating shelves, one thing that my sister bequeathed upon me for my birthday was a floating shelf to hold whatever vinyl I have playing at that given moment. And this is going to transition into what I was going to, it's not so much going to be a talking show and a talking podcast episode today. It's more going to be show and tell, okay? I just wanted to show off all the vinyls I have and talk about them just a little bit on why I chose it, why I have it, and why it's special to me. First order of business. I have no idea how vinyls work. That's one of the grand mysteries of life. How do they get the sound from little scratches on a disc? How does a thin little needle scratch a disc and produce hosier? Huh? Hey, that makes no sense. And I know I'm not the only one who thinks this because I have not been able to get a straight answer. So what we're going to do, first, I already did first order of business. Second order of business, we're Googling how do vinyl records work? Here's the AI overview we love. Vinyl records store sound information in the form of grooves cut into a vinyl disc. A stylus, or needle, on a turntable, the record player, traces these grooves, and its vibrations are converted into electrical signals by a cartridge, which are then amplified and sent to speakers to reproduce the sounds. What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. I need explain to me like I'm 5. Okay. London Sound Academy, hit me. Okay, I guess there's lore to this, because to understand the genius behind vinyl, you first need to understand how sound waves work. Is this physics? I think so. What branch of science is this? What branch of science is sound? Acoustics. That just made me look so dumb. Is that why when people are like, the acoustics in here are so good? That doesn't make any sense. The science concerned with the production, transmission, and effects of sound is called acoustics. It is a branch of physics. Thank you. Yes, I'll take my doctorate, actually. Dr. Connor is back in the building. Hello, miss you. Been a while. So now we're talking about physics. We're in physics class right now. Sounds are produced by vibrations and travel through the airwaves, which are vibrating particles. Okay. So they come from the treasure box, and I talk. The vibrations from my vocal folds. Yes, they travel through airwaves, and they're vibrations. The waves transfer energy from the source of the sound out to its surrounding. Your ear detects sound waves when vibrating air particles cause your eardrum to vibrate. The bigger the vibrations, the louder the sound. The groove you can see on the vinyl is like a fingerprint of the sound waves captured in a lacquered disc that we call a vinyl record. These three-dimensional cuts within the spiral groove of the vinyl record, These three-dimensional cuts within the spiral groove on the vinyl record are a recording of how the sound waves behave as they move through the air. Oh, okay, so it's like the printing press, but for sound. Okay, so when the needle goes through the little grooves on it, but I don't understand how the needle does it. Okay, the stylus and grooves. Okay, here we go. This is what I need to go to. A typical record player that has has a type of needle called a stylus that is placed gently on the vinyl record, resting in the beginning of the spiral groove. As the vinyl disc steadily rotates, the stylus moves through the wavy 3 dimensions that are cut into the spiral groove. The stylus is a tiny crystal of sapphire or diamond. Oh my god, I didn't realize I had diamonds in my room. The stylus is a tiny crystal of sapphire or diamond mounted at the very end of a lightweight metal bar like a needle. As the crystal vibrates in the groove, its microscopic bounces are transmitted down the bar. Okay, what's the bar? Is that to the base of the needle? I think. The stylus fits onto the end of an electromagnetic device called a cartridge, containing a piezoelectric, that's a crazy word, piezoelectric crystal. The metal bar presses against the crystal, and each time it moves, it wobbles the crystal slightly, generating an electric signal. Okay, you lost me. The signals are fed out to an amplifier to make sounds you hear through your speakers or headphones. Not all record player cartridges uses piezoelectricity to convert sound vibrations to electrical signals. Some have tiny electrical coils and a magnet inside them. When the stylus moves, it pushes the magnet up and down past the coil, generating... Yeah, I think that's the part that loses me, because I understand the 3D print of the music, how it kind of recreates the sound waves generated by the piece of media. I don't get the crystal and how when it scratches, it gets whatever it scratched into electricity. What? That doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't really want to watch a YouTube video, so I kind of get the gist of how an actual disc works. I don't get the scratchy converting into voom, but I understand how the media is pressed into a physical form. Now that we got stage 2 out of the way, stage 2, now that we got case 2, second order of business. Now that we got the second order of business out of the way, time for the third order of business, and that's going to be the show and tell portion. And this is going to be the meaty chunk of today's episode because I got a lot to go through, okay? This is in no particular order, by the way. So we're going to start off with the smallest one. I still have it in the shrink wrapping, but this is the Good Luck Babe single. And apparently on side B, there's a demo called Read and Make Out, but I haven't listened to this. I am scared to put this on my record player because I don't know how the machine is going to realize that it is a small, a single disc. I know someone said I just have to change the speed, but how is the needle going to know that the disc starts closer to the center than you know what I mean? This is important to me because Good Luck Babe is my favorite Chappell Roan song. I am always in the mood for it. It is a banger when I'm happy. It's a banger when I'm mad at love. It is a banger all the time. And the third verse, the bridge, if you will, I think might be one of the greatest bridges of all time. And that could be my hot take. Some people might be mad and say, you're psycho for that because it's not that different from anything we've heard before. I disagree. Ooh, when you wake up next to him in the middle of the night. Banger. I'm always bumping to it. So I want to give the demo a listen because new Chappell Roan media. Limited. We love. And next up, here is a guest that we have seen on the show before. I would love to welcome back Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga, thank you so much for joining the podcast again. I have a question for you, Lady Gaga. Shoot. Will you be the first unofficial parodied guest on the Alone in the Room podcast? Oh, see, this is awkward because I'm just doing a press run and I cannot associate myself with anything of the sort. Wow, Lady Gaga, that's really embarrassing. So I will talk briefly about your album and then we will move on because quite frankly, I'm offended. This is the Mayhem album and Lady Gaga's most recent release, and it is wonderful. What What an album. I know I've talked about this album before, and I've already talked about my favorite songs. Unfortunately, my opinions have changed because right now my favorite song from this, I believe last time I said that Vanish Into You was my favorite song from this album. Unfortunately, that has been changed and surpassed and usurped by Perfect Celebrity. Rip off the face of this photograph, Perfect Celebrity. I love a lot of songs, and my favorite is gonna change a lot because right now Perfect Celebrity is on repeat along with Disease. Who saw that coming? Disease is a wonderful song, and I think it was kind of hated on when it first came out, unnecessarily. So, Mayhem. Thank you, Lady Gaga. Next up, we have an iconic one that I think every gay person and most women have in their collection, Lana Del Rey, Born to Die. I hate to admit it, I'm not a super Lana fan. I just, not by choice, I just haven't really listened to any of the songs. But I listened to this while cooking one day and I was like, God damn, she got some pipes on her and melodies to it. I listened to this one time and I really enjoyed it. I just haven't listened to it again. And my roommate has the exact same album, so I know that it is a rather popular one. This one was gifted to me by Natty Sanchez. Thank you, Natty. And I have listened to it and I really enjoyed it. So I will be giving this another listen at some point, just not anytime soon, because I have other ones that I'm about to get to that are taking top priority. So sorry, Lana, but thank you for joining the party. Now this is going to be the Lindsey Stirling chapter, and you guys are going to see how much of a psycho freak fan I am of Lindsey Stirling, because I think I have all but one of her albums on record. So we're going to go down the list. It is another unopened one because I only got it semi-recently. This is the Artemis album. Funnily enough, I got this one used. Normally I get my albums new because they're special to me and I want them to be mine. But I got this one used, and it seems thicker than the new one did, but it was cheaper. What's that about? So let's actually do an unboxing of this one, because right on camera, ooh, little ASMR for you guys. So why was this bigger? Is it because it's unwrapped and it already has air going through it or something? Ooh, look at that. Sorry, my ring light is giving you a hard glare, but look at that little anime girly. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I fuck heavy with that. That's really cool. It's kind of giving me like a different interpretation of Artemis that is in the Hades video games. Trust and believe we'll get there in just a few minutes. So, is like the what color is the disc? Ooh, it's like a creamsicle orange. That's super pretty. I don't know how well it goes with the yellow of the album, but it's okay. I'm not the creative director for this, so we're just gonna slide her back in. This specific Lindsey Stirling album, y'all need workout songs. Let me put you onto Artemis, because there are a few songs on here. Underground is one of my favorites to work out to. It has that song specifically. It has such like a consistent beat to it that is perfect for calf raises. And if you are in the dancer world, releves. Just boom, boom, boom. Oh my gosh, sometimes little vulnerability going on right now on the pod. Sometimes when this song comes on my shuffle when I'm in the shower, I'll be doing calf raises in the shower. I don't care. First position, second position, inverted first, inverted second, meaning my toes are pigeon-toed in to work the opposite side of the calf muscle. And then just like normal feet forward, calf raises. And let me tell you, what a calf workout. Holy shit. Sometimes I'm exiting the shower and I literally did a full workout sweating in the shower, and I know I'm sweating because I'm warm and I feel it generating from here. Speaking of showers, lo and behold, I did a hair treatment. Oh, my hair is so light and soft right now. I put apricot oil in it. I let it soak for one showing of Lilo and Stitch, and then like an extra 15 minutes while I was scrolling through TikTok, and then I took a shower and rinsed it all out. And my hair is so soft right now. I don't know if you guys have noticed its lustrous glow going on. Anyway, sorry for jumping all around, but great workout songs in this album. Cannot recommend them enough. Next up, we have her most recent release, Duality. I've only given this one full run-through clean, but it does include Eye of the Untold Her, which was released as a single. And one special thing about that song, I can't remember what her name is, but there is a gymnast that used Eye of the Untold Her in her, I want to say it was her Olympic floor routine. Let's fact check me on that. It was Suni Lee. Oh my gosh, I did know that. Suni Lee used Lindsey Sterling's Eye of the Untold Her in her gymnastics floor routine. And I love that because I love competitive gymnastics, specifically on the Olympic level. I love Lindsey Sterling. And there are a lot of even collegiate gymnasts that are using Lindsey Sterling's music for floor routines because it's so diverse, and it could be intense, it could be beautiful, it could be lyrical, it could be sad. She has so many songs that invoke a whole array of different emotions, and I love it. I think I remember tweeting when I was in high school, way back when I was in high school, I tweeted something that was like, NBC Gymnastics sponsored by Lindsey Sterling as the floor music or something stupid like that. I thought it was really funny. Did not get the street cred that it deserves. But I did give this album a listen when it first came out, and it was very, very good. I can't specifically name the standouts of it quite yet. So another album that I hope to give a listen to more very soon. Next up is my second favorite Lindsey Sterling album, Brave Enough. This one, you could tell by the cover art of it. It's so beautifully lyrical, and it actually has a lot of featured vocalists on this. More than half of the songs on here have featured artists or vocalists in some way, shape, or form. Brave Enough with Christina Perri. I love it. Funny story, I discovered that song when I was in college, and when I discover a song and I like it, bet your ass I'm playing it over and over and over again. I only found out months after I stopped listening to it that Ashley, my roommate at the time, did not care for the Christina Perri vocals of it. Thought that was really funny. She said, oh, you could have told me, and I probably would have just only listened to it in the car. And she said, no, I didn't want to yuck your yum. And that's what makes a best friend. A best friend will not yuck your yum, even though it yucks theirs. But side A of disc 1 is probably the standouts on this album. The top 3 standouts. That's going to be Lost Girls, Brave Enough, and The Arena. The Arena. If you guys haven't seen the music video for The Arena, go check that out. That's homework assignment 1A. Check out The Arena music video because it is gorgeous, and there is a beautiful message behind it. I believe it's written in here in very, very tiny font. Oh, okay, so it's prefaced with a very long quote by Theodore Roosevelt. So, strap in, children. It's story time. Except I can't see, so I have to put the storybook down here and squint really hard. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds? Can't take the 12-year-old out of my brain, goddamn. Who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who Neither know victory nor defeat. Theodore Roosevelt. That's kind of like the quote that summarizes the song of the arena, the inspiration for it. I actually haven't seen the music video in, I would say, over a year now, so I gotta give that a rewatch. But I vividly remember this kind of Mad Max, post-apocalyptic, steampunk-esque Dust Bowl with crowds in the arena. And at the climax of the song, I remember all the faces of the spectators in the arena change. Either the masks that they might be holding up in front of their faces or the actual faces change. And you kind of, the spectators see themselves as competitors in the arena. If I'm not mistaken, I could have this totally wrong, but beautiful song, beautiful music video, highly recommend. That's going to be Brave Enough. Also, side note, a little critique about this. I'm not a super fan of a lot of the vocalists in the songs on these. Some of them felt like a little too, we are young. Hey, there's a fire in our soul. And it's very much like I'm happy to have the album, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of discs in here, sides I probably won't even play because I can't deal with the vocals on them. Sorry to these people. I can't believe I almost put this down and didn't talk about Gavi's song. Oh, you want an instrumental song to make you cry? Gavi's song. So the story behind this, and I tried to find I thought there would be a music video for it or something because it's so beautiful. And that's it. I have no more to say. It's just a beautiful, melancholy song, and there's kind of hidden whimsy to it, and it just makes me feel very mystical and optimistic, but at the same time very melancholy and down, kind of depressed. And at the very end of the song, it plays the main melody, but in this, I don't know why I picture it as such, but I always hear it as kind of like if they took this song, put it in a Game Boy, and played it through a Game Boy speaker. Game Boy with a Nintendo Game Boy, the tiny little portable console that everyone fucking had in early 2000s. If they played this song through a Game Boy speaker, that's kind of how it sounds. It's like this stereo high. I don't have the music. The audiophile vocabulary to describe it, but it sounds like it's coming from a Game Boy, from my ear. But I looked up the story of it because I wanted to know what the song was about. What was the intention of the song? And turns out that it was one of the last pieces that one of her band members that one of her band members wrote before he sadly passed away from cancer. I cannot recall what type of cancer, but this was kind of like his love letter song and the song that's dedicated to him. Obviously, it's called Gavi's Song. That was the name of the band member. And I believe the last part, the part that sounds like it's coming from Game Boy, was recorded by Gavi himself before he passed or before he started going through treatments and his condition worsened and worsened until he eventually passed away. And that was kind of like the audio file that was probably recovered after his passing. And then they elaborated it into a full-length song. And it's kind of his tribute song. And it's so beautiful. Homework assignment 2 is to listen to Gavi's song. You guys are getting a lot of music recommendations this episode, so bear with it and deal with it. Gavi's Song. Next up, this is my favorite Lindsey Stirling album. This is a no-skip album, which a lot of these I love. A lot of these vinyls I love. Not all of them are no-skip albums. This is one of the few that is. This is the one in middle school that got me obsessed with Lindsey Stirling. This is going to be the Shatter Me album. Fun little side story. When I bought this record, I was at Park Ave, my local record shop, and the price tag on it, the little sticker that was on it, it said $140. Or no, not 140. I think it was $129 is what it was listed at. And I said, $120. Now, did I have a $100 bill in my pocket that I was planning to spend at Park Ave that day? Yes, I did. And was I debating hard on purchasing it for over $100? I said yes. Because I thought that this was, I think the discs in this one are special. Or they have like some special font. Yeah, it's like this smoky gray type of disc. And because of that, this was one of my first vinyl purchases. So I didn't really know. I thought like the colored ones were somehow more expensive because they are colorful. I didn't know that the artist can just like choose whatever it comes out. But it did say like special edition, limited edition or whatever. So I was like, that makes sense why it's $129. But am I going to spend all like my money on this one album? And I'm sorry, you guys, but I decided yes in the end. I decided that I was going to do it. Because this specific record means so much to me. This whole vinyl means so much to me because this is what got me into Lindsey Stirling in the very first place. Hello, it's your favorite person you love to hear, post-production Connor. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention because I got uber sidetracked by my love of this album is that I did not end up spending $129 on this vinyl. Turns out it was mislabeled. When I went to go purchase it, I decided to make the decision to buy the album, even though it was $129. But when I brought it to the register, they took a look at it and they said, that price doesn't seem right. Let me double check this for you. And they went into the back. They came back and they said, this was a misprint. It's only $29, not $129. So calm down. I didn't spend $130 on a vinyl, but I was prepared to do so. Thank God I didn't, but I was going to. Anyway, back to why I love this album. Like I said, it's a no-skip album. I think my top 3 big features on this one are Shatter Me, Roundtable Rival, and Master of Tides, because the way I obsessively watched those videos when I was in middle school, so much so that for my birthday when I was in middle school, my parents took me to Sunfest. We went with the whole family. They took us to Sunfest where she happened to be playing, and I was bumping. I said, Lindsey Stirling, I love you. Now, meanwhile, it's a music festival, so everyone is smoking weed around us, and my parents are like, and meanwhile, I'm like, yes, bestie. So this album means so much to me. I dare you guys to listen to it and understand why it means so much to me, because I don't know why, but this was a game changer for me. I think this album is the one that got me into instrumental music and enjoying music that doesn't really have words to it, which is what instrumental means. Fuck, you guys aren't stupid. I don't know why I talk to you like you're stupid. The only 2 songs on here that have vocalists are We Are Giants and Shatter Me. Shatter Me is sung by Lizzie Hale, and I don't know. I'm sure it's not vocally one of the most groundbreaking songs out there. I am sure of that. But because of the nostalgia factor for me, it always has this effect. I'm like, wow, what a song. It's so insanely, you know what I mean? So We Are Giants, I can recognize that is just it's a okay song, but love this. Beautiful artwork on the back too. Get a look at that if the glare isn't too bad. It's like woodsy. The ballerina has broken from her crystal ball music box and she is free. She has been shattered me. This next one is just, well, these next 2 are the Christmas albums that she has. Warmer in the Winter, which I think is my favorite of the 2. It's definitely more traditional Christmas music, if you could call it that, because it's Lindsey Stirling. She's going to put her pop violin touch on it. But Carol of the Bells, Angels We Have Heard on High, Let It Snow, Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy is got to be the standout of this album, because for me, I love Tchaikovsky. He's one of my favorite composers for classical music, and I think Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy is probably one of my favorite classical pieces, just by how whimsical and fun it is. I love it. It's so fun, and I love the theme of a sugar plum fairy and what's the is it Now I'm about to embarrass myself. Is it Swan Lake that's from? What? I love him, but sometimes the songs and the musicals blend together. Tchaikovsky. The Nutcracker. Duh. Duh. Swan Lake is different, but he did compose Swan Lake, so I'm not a total embarrassment. It's from The Nutcracker, and I think that The Nutcracker might be one of my favorite ballets of all time. Just in terms of story. Also, was I obsessed with Barbie and the Nutcracker as a child? Yeah. Yeah, that was my Barbie movie that I hyperfixated on. And then it was Princess and the Pauper, and then Barbie Rapunzel. Those were going to be my top 3 Barbie movies. Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, big fan. So this is going to be her more traditional Christmas album. And I bought these around Christmas time because I said, it's Christmas time. I need some Christmas vinyls. This next one is more of an original Christmas album, Snow Waltz. And it has those Christmas hymns on it that every Christmas album needs. Say again. Holy fuck, I thought you were past this habit. Joy to the World, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, Little Drummer Boy, O Come, O Come. Actually, maybe I am gonna totally pivot and do a 180 and say that this is more of a Christmas, like traditional Christmas album than this one. Because yes, they both have those traditional Christmas songs on them, but this one has more of a contemporary one to it. Your Mean One, Mr. Grinch with Sabrina Carpenter. That is a good hype song for when I do Grinchmas. Let It Snow. This one has the main theme from Home Alone, Santa Baby. Yep, I am actually going to say that this is the more contemporary Christmas album, and this one is your more traditional one, which surprised me when I played this during the holidays because I know of Warmer in the Winter, this one, more than I knew this one. And typically when I know an album more, I'll tend to play it more, as one does. But I found myself actually playing this one more. Number one, because it only has one disc, so it was easier to just kind of stop and flip them instead of changing out the disc entirely. But I am a crazy fan for some of those darker hymns, especially O Come, Emmanuel, the O come, Emmanuel. That, like, the, not dynamics of it, but the kind of half steps in, this is where my lack of music theory knowledge really shines through, because I don't know what to really call it. It's not dynamics. I'm whipping out the laptop again. It's not dynamics. Intervals? I think it's intervals. Yeah, I think so. The crazy, like, dark, mysterious intervals in which are the distance between two musical notes. Maybe it's not intervals. I'll know it when I see it. Basically, like, the sharpness and flatness, the sharpness and flatness of the notes that are played sound good in my eardrum. Oh God, this is a whole... Oh, thank God it was in the A's. The accidentals, which is when a note becomes either sharp or flat, when it kind of deviates from the key that it's in, and it kind of gives that... I've talked about this before. When it gives that kind of like, ooh, kind of like grit to it, and it kind of makes you a little bit uncomfortable. That's what I love most. I think O Come, Emmanuel might be my favorite Christmas hymn. Just because of the way it sounds and the accidentals of it, or the specific key that it's in. It might use a lot of sharp or flats, whatever it is in. But you can tell there's the intervals, the intervals are intervaling. You know what I mean? So, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Like, it sounds off and spooky in a way, and ooh, it makes my skin crawl, but in the best way possible. So again, to recap, traditional Lindsey Stirling Christmas album, contemporary Lindsey Stirling Christmas album. Okay, yes, that concludes my Lindsey Sterling chapter. I have in total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Lindsey Sterling vinyls, and I'm very happy with all of them. Some have themes, some don't, and some are just nostalgic to me, and that's what I love about collecting, is the nostalgia of it. And I think one of my favorite things about collecting vinyls is I love album art and the artistry and colors and the artistry of photography in album art, or the digital art of album art. And nothing really speaks to that. Awesome transition, by the way. Props to me. Nothing really speaks to that like my next one that I want to talk about, which is the Hozier debut album. This is artistry in its finest, because it could mean so many things. It's so, I don't want to say impressionist. I'm going to sound like a fucking idiot when I talk about this, because I don't know much about the different art styles, but I know that this invokes a feeling of industrialism and kind of where we, or when I say we, where I guess Hozier himself kind of fits into all that, because it kind of, like, his sleeve here is torn and it's showing like the skeleton of a skyscraper, kind of those metal iron rods that kind of is the skeleton and the bone structure of a building. And his face is torn apart, where it shows like natural beauty here with, I think I see that as like an ocean with rocks jutting out and a cliffside in the distance, while the bottom of his face is a city line of skyscrapers. I would assume that's New York City. And everything around him is kind of torn away to kind of the effects of either industrialization on nature, because you have nature bleeding in through what I would think would be a window here, but in the background here you kind of see these, I don't want to say cookie cutter because it's more drab than that, but I see like, how best to describe this? What I see in this picture reminds me of in the TV show Chernobyl in when did that take place? 1980s? I think in the 80s, the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. The 86, was it? I think so. In the town of Pripyat in communist Russia, there are these, again, I don't want to say cookie cutter, but they're all the same building for apartments, and it's very dull, minimalistic, but not in like a millennial minimalism type way. It's just concrete windows, concrete building, all looks the same. Each one probably has a number on it just to designate what building it is. Duh, say something more obvious. But that's kind of what these buildings look like to me. So I just think this is like a beautiful form of digital media, even though I don't really know what it means. Maybe that's just my interpretation of it. And I'm getting used to interpreting things and potentially being wrong, but that's kind of what I see this as. And the reason I have this, Hozier, duh. He's a phenomenal artist. The only album of his I don't have is Wasteland Baby, just because I haven't gotten around to purchasing it yet. But I do want it in my collection at some point. Take Me to Church. Highlights from this, for me, this might be a little controversial or hot takes, but the highlights of this for me are Take Me to Church, Angel of Small Death and the codeine scene, and which ones? What's the other one? I think those are the two highlights for me. I'm not like the type of Hozier stan that's like, I know every song and every word. Someday I hope to be that. But for now, I just enjoy the songs that I really like. And I enjoy listening to him just ambiently, but I don't really take the time for this album specifically. I don't really take the time to sit down and listen and learn every single song that he puts out. I just enjoy listening to him ambiently. And Take Me to Church, Angel of Small Death, those are the first two songs on the first disc. Makes it real easy for me to tune in and then just kind of tune out while it plays. Next up, this is the Hozier album that really, really gets me, Unreal Unearth. And I did splurge and get Unreal Unearth Unending, which is going to be all of the songs. Well, this was a little disappointment when I got this, because I thought when I purchased this, you could see it's rather thick. But when I purchased this, I saw Unreal Unearth Unending. I think it was like 40 something dollars. But I thought I was going to be getting all of Unreal Unearth plus the bonus tracks that he released post release of Unreal, the initial Unreal Unearth. So that was going to include Too Sweet, Wildflower and Barley, Empire Now, all those that came after, and also the singles that came prior to this, but post Wasteland Baby. So Swan Upon Leda and, or I guess that was the only one. Yeah. Everything else was post, Through Me was before Unreal Unearth. That was kind of like the teaser for it, I think. But I thought that I was going to get all of the initial Unreal Unearth when I purchased this. Turns out I was just getting the post-release, the bonus content, the DLC, if you will. And I actually had to purchase the initial album as well, separately. So the reason that this is so thick is it's meant to be a holder for the 2 discs that are Unreal Unearth. So this actually opens up and holds 3 discs in it. And you have some beautiful artistry of him in the soil. We know from Supreme Leader Brittany Broski that this album is based on Dante's Inferno. And he's in the soil there. Now, do I regret the purchase? No, I do not. This is one of my favorite vinyls that I like to play. Is it a special discs? I like to call them special discs because sometimes they look real pretty and I'm like, that's a special disc. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. Well, that's awesome. There was like a sticky substance and it freaking ripped my thing. My lyrics sheet. That's bummer. Anyway, is this special disc? No, it is not. It's just a black vinyl, but that's okay. Okay, that was the initial one. So let's see if the bonus content. Yay, more sticky stuff. Aha, my bonus tracks are a special album, special disc. Look at that. It's like a beautiful gold. Ooh, it matches my... Does it? From here, it looks like it matches my tapestry, but probably not. Yes, I knew I had one that was special. This is the bonus tracks for Unreal Unearth. So that's this is one of my more unique discs that I have. Alrighty, so Andrew Hosier, thank you so much for your contribution to my collection. Next up, we have a birthday gift that I got this year. My first Queen Herbie vinyl. I don't think I've mentioned enough how much I love Queen Herbie. She is my woman, my goddess, my performer, my girl boss rapper. And this is going to be The Woman, the album. It's still in the shrink wrap because I only got it a few days ago. And I've been very, very busy with work. So I haven't been able to give this a proper listen. But this is my first Queen Herbie vinyl and I will cherish this so much. This album slays. Juice and what's the other super fast pitter patter one? Yeah, Juice is gonna be the faster one. I'm associating this with Busta Rhyme because whenever I listen to Juice and Busta Rhyme, those are like her quickest pitter patter songs, I would say. And if I'm in the mood to listen to one, I have to listen to the other because they're both that good. But I know all of the songs on this one except for one. It's called Good Morning. It's the first track on side 2. And from what I know, I listened to it one time, but it's not necessarily a song. It's more a kind of like wake up mantra-esque, like good vibes for the day kind of song. Maybe I should listen to that when I drive to work in the mornings. Gotta add that to the repertoire for my morning pre-sunrise drives. I'm so excited. I just love Queen Herbie. I want her to start releasing more vinyls in stores because I will buy them all. Mark my words, you me. And next up, I've talked about this before. We've had her as a guest before. Welcome back, Ethel Kane, to the pod. Ethel Kane, how are you? Am I making you exhausted by playing your tracks over and over again? If I weren't already dead and murdered by Isaiah, I would be so tired. Yikes, you didn't have to bring down the mood, Ethel Kane. Jesus Christ. This one, disc 2, side 2. So I guess side D of the whole album. I play that through and it will stop and I press play one more time because it is the best series. Oh no. Yes, it is. It is only 2 songs. It's Sunbleached Flies and Strangers, but those songs I could listen to on record all for hours. I literally just restart it every time. That one's probably already my most played disc because I'm just starting it up again and again. Such a beautiful conclusion. This album changed me and made me realize my love for gothic horror, so what is it? Southern Gothic music, kind of blends of creep and beautifulness and lyricism and story-driven story-driven albums. This is gonna be my top 3 albums of all time. I don't even know what the other 2 are, but top 3 albums of all time right here. Potentially number 1 album of all time for me. So of course I was eager to pre-order it when it released. And of course I said, take your time with the delays because I want this album to be good. And I want the vinyls to be good. So that's my pride and joy right now. Just my Precious Art vinyl. I live, laugh, love her. Next up we have Chapel Roan. We're back to Chapel. Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess. Phenomenal album. Also, I would argue a no-skip album. Let me double check. Does it have the... Oh, yeah. I'm going to be vulnerable. This is one that I owned. This is one of my very first ones that I bought. So the little sleeves that the discs come in, I didn't know that you were kind of... These ones, I didn't know that they keep the vinyl safe. So this one, I just have it raw dog in this cover because I threw it out. I should probably purchase some sleeve for it just to keep it safe and well maintained. I'm actually going to consult Spotify for this one just to confirm all the songs. I believe that Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess is a no skip album, but I just want to double check. Yep. No skip album. I have them all on my playlist. They are all downloaded because at some point or another they have all been on my on repeat playlist. Chapel Roan. More hot to go. Feminine Omenon. We love being casual. And I love my guilty pleasures. All those were references for those who don't know. So of course, I'm gay. This is gay anthem right here. Gay icon right here. Need to have it. Love Chapel. And these are my lo-fi Zelda albums. Now, holy fuck, if Nintendo was smart, they would release their Zelda albums for vinyl box sets because I would be ordering Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess and Hyrule Warriors. Oh my god, Hyrule Warriors is not talked about enough in the Zelda community, nor in the Zelda music community. This is not that. But the compositions for the Hyrule Warriors games are incredible. The first one, the Hyrule Warriors that is Wii U, 3DS, and Definitive Edition for Switch, those rock remixes to traditional Zelda songs, and even the original songs that they have, Eclipses of the Sun, Moon, and World, those songs are bangers. And I wish there was a vinyl, someone would press a vinyl of that soundtrack because I would purchase it. Now because Japan's copyright laws for music are very strange and very strict for some reason, the only vinyls available per purchase for Zelda ones are remixes and lo-fi remixes of Zelda songs by independent artists. So this one contains the title theme, the main theme from Legend of Zelda, The Hour of Twilight. Is that from Twilight Princess? Yeah. Duh. The title theme from Twilight Princess, Dragon Roost Island from Wind Waker, the Forest Temple from Ocarina of Time, Lake Hylia from Twilight Princess, Calling the Four Giants from Majora's Mask, Kakariko Village is Saved from Twilight Princess, Gerudo Town from Breath of the Wild, which odd choice from Breath of the Wild, but pop off, I guess. Stables from Breath of the Wild, and The Ballad of the Goddess from Skyward Sword. This one had a better collection of just good Zelda music, I think. The reason I bought this one as well as the first one was that this one had Fi's Farewell from Skyward Sword, and I'll get into this the exact ones that are on this album in just a second. But Skyward Sword was the first Zelda game that was fully orchestrated by a symphonic band, I think. I could have that mixed up, but I know a full symphonic orchestra composed the music for Skyward Sword, and I think the music in that game is far superior overall as a whole than other Zelda games. A lot of people like to praise Ocarina of Time for having the best soundtrack, but I think Skyward Sword has the best Zelda soundtrack. So the songs on this one are going to be The Great Fairy Fountain, which iconic. I don't know how that's not in both of these. Dark World, another iconic song. I believe Dark World is from A Link to the Past. Rito Village from, I believe that, it doesn't say which game specifically they're from on this one, but Rito Village, I think that one is from Ocarina of Time specifically. Zelda's Lullaby, Hyrule Field. What does that say? Oh, okay, some specifically say which one it's from. Rito Village, it says Day, so I would assume that's Ocarina of Time. Hyrule Fields from Twilight Princess, Song of Storms, also from Ocarina of Time. The main theme from Ocarina of Time. Mipha's theme from Breath of the Wild, which, period, that's a Breath of the Wild song you gotta include on a Zelda, not, what was it, Gerudo Town? It was weird pick. I would have chosen the Gerudo Town from Ocarina of Time. Actually, that was horrible. Don't listen to me on that. Then we have Lost Woods, and finally, Fi's Farewell. Fi's Farewell is one of my favorite. Fi's theme in general is one of my favorite Zelda pieces. Especially just plain Fi's theme. The mystical, ethereal flute in that. It's not like your traditional flute. I think it's kind of like a deeper tonality to it. It could be a traditional flute, but it sounds more like an actual woodwind flute rather than your traditional metal flute that we know now. So yeah, I'm happy. When I saw these, I was so happy because I've been to Park Ave multiple times and I never knew that these specific albums, I just thought they had like, oh, a Triforce on it, but that doesn't necessarily mean like a Triforce from Zelda. It could just be like the symbol itself. And then I took a closer look and I was like, wait a minute, these are Zelda vinyls. Oh my God. So bought those because these I like to play when I'm doing tasks. I love listening to Zelda ambient music when I do tasks. So far, Zelda and Hozier are my most like ambient that I just play in the background. And the other ones I actually sit and enjoy and consume and listen to. Next up, we kind of have an oddball. But I loved this movie and I loved a few songs from it. So I was like, yeah, I'll get it because it kind of has like a folky vibe to it. Like folk music vibe. And that's going to be the Ballad of Songbird and Snakes soundtrack, which if you haven't already, go like and repost and share my Sunrise on the Reaping audition because I think I ate Boots' house down and I should be in the Hunger Games movie. Again, if it doesn't work out with Mr. Zada, I will take the role of Haymitch. Lionsgate, if you're out there listening. This was a crazy underdog purchase because it took me a while to actually unwrap it and listen to it. But when I did, I was like, ooh, I can bump to a lot of these songs. The bluegrass, the folk music, it's all very, very well done. Rachel Zegler has an amazing voice, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew that, but something tells me that she has an amazing voice. This is also a special disc because it's like a bright orange color. Sorry, it's kind of hard for me to get out. It's like a deep orange actually, like a tangerine type orange. But one side is labeled Songbird, the other side is labeled Snakes, and I think that's really fun and creative. I think the highlights from this one are You Can't Catch Me Now, Hanging Tree, Ballad of Lucy Gray, the old There Before / Singing at Snakes. I love that, but I kind of hate how in the vinyl and in the when it's on streaming, I kind of hate how it has the lines from the movies in, and you can hear the distinction of the camera cuts when you're listening to Lucy Gray through the Citizens of the Capitol, through the TV, where it kind of has that stereo sound to it. And then when it cuts to Lucy Gray and it's her singing like actual quality, like it sounds like it's right in front of you, you know what I mean? I kind of hate that they kept that in the soundtrack itself. I wish it was just Rachel Zegler singing it. I get it, it's for dramatic purposes, and it kind of invokes like a live stage recording. Not a personal fan of it. I still listen to it because it bangs. Next up, Pure as the Driven Snow. I listened to that song on here and then had since downloaded it on my phone, and it's on repeat right now. It's a beautiful song. Yeah, those are, I think, the last standouts from this album, actually. So kind of an underdog. I like listening to this when I clean or when I'm just kind of like futzing around on my computer, not really doing anything in particular. Lastly, actually, I want to take the time to do one honorable mention who isn't here yet. But I did treat myself. I got a promotion, and I did treat myself, and I bought the Eddie Redmayne 2021 London cast album of Cabaret, the musical, my first Broadway vinyl, and I am so excited for when it comes because this is my current hyperfixation when it comes to music. I've mentioned it before. Willkommen, meine Damen und Herren, Mesdames et Messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, the Kit Kat Club is proud to present Cabaret, the musical. I think I would be a great MC. That was not my best rendition. I wasn't really trying there, but I think I would eat as the MC. I still holding on to that belief. Willkommen. Right now I am obsessed with Mein Herr. Don't dab your eye, mein Herr, or wonder why, mein Herr. I've always said that I was a rover. I love how it starts slow and sultry and kind of like picks up to this like cabaret-esque song. That's the one I'm obsessed with. Money, I did just listen to, as much as I love Cabaret, I know very little about the show itself. I haven't listened to it all the way through, but I was driving home from Melbourne, having dinner with my parents the other day, and I finally listened to it start to finish without pausing or falling asleep. Go me. And it was great. Loved it. There were a handful of songs that I was like, yeah, this is kind of like a throwaway song. Not really a throwaway song because all songs in musicals are important. They all serve a purpose, but some of them I just didn't really care about. But I can now say I'm more educated in the premise of the show and how the structure of the show itself. So I ordered the vinyl version. Cannot wait for it to get here and actually sit with it. And because it's set in the 40s, it kind of gives like, I don't want to say old-timey, but I guess that is old-timey. It's almost 100 years ago. It kind of gives this like old-timey like playing through a gramophone when I play like the physical vinyl of it. So that's just going to be a vibe in it of itself. At last, but not least, we have a very special edition, brand new addition to the vinyl collection that I think will hold me over until I finally get my fucking Skyrim box set. And honestly, this surprised me so much in terms of packaging, in terms of discs and art style and everything that's included in this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the collection, the Hades video game vinyl box set. Oh my good golly, Miss Dolly. This has 4 discs in the collection. This was a birthday gift. Thank you so much, Johnny. I'm so sorry you can't be on the pod to experience this with me. But the way that this is broken down is through all the gods that can give you boons in the game. Let me double check that. Okay, yes, I was right. The way that this is split up is so creative. Each side corresponds to a god that can give you a boon in the game. Everyone except for Hermes, but he kind of does his own thing. He's in his own category in the game, so he's not really included in this. But the way that each side is set up is obviously a vinyl has two sides, so it's two gods paired together. And like the Zeus side of the record has the songs No Escape, The House of Hades, Out of Tartarus, Wretched Shades, Lament of Orpheus. Then on the flip side is Poseidon, which I think they go well together. They're brothers, and they're kind of opposite sides, and that has its own collection of songs. Then there's, well, to get into it, I have to show you the next little bit that I wanted to talk about, which are the discs themselves. So that was like the carrying case, what I showed you. This are the like sleeves for each of them. And again, it comes in pairs, but not necessarily the gods, but it shows beautiful artwork of the characters in the game. So this is going to be the characters of Nyx and Chaos, which they have their own kind of like connection and storyline in the game, but they hold, so that's like the sleeve that holds the vinyl. Once they're out of the papers, the Nyx and Chaos, they hold also special discs. They're like another smoky ashen gray, kind of like the Shatter Me. But this has Dionysus and Artemis on either side. So I think most of these don't really have correlations, I don't think, to like the character art that's on the sleeves that actually hold the vinyl records. But the one that I think does and is very creative, it has artwork for your main protagonist, your playable character Zagreus, is it? Yeah. Zagreus, and then in the background you have Hades, the father of your protagonist and playable character. But this is the record sleeve that holds the Zeus and Poseidon record. And obviously Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades are all brothers, so Zagreus is the nephew of all these three gods. And I think that attention to detail in packaging is really commendable for this album. I'm not super sure. Like I said, I don't think all of them have some kind of correlation, but like I don't really know how Nyx and Chaos kind of correlate to Artemis and Dionysus, but oh well. This one is really fun because this is the characters of Orpheus and Eurydice, and in this game Eurydice is depicted as a wood nymph and not just like a regular girl. And Orpheus is this like lamentful shade in the game who has, obviously, since he's a shade, he has passed away in the mortal world, but he still laments his love for Eurydice, regrets the fact that he failed her as a lover and as a partner by turning around and sending her back to hell as per the deal that he made with Hades. And in the game, he is the court musician in the House of Hades, which is kind of silly, goofy. And he's kind of forced to play, and he kind of rebels against it, and he doesn't play, and eventually after interacting with him enough, you as Zagreus give him the confidence to start singing again, and he becomes his old self. But this comes in the packaging that holds the Aphrodite and Ares discs, and it's kind of silly, Aphrodite being the goddess of love, her having kind of this romantic affair in Greek mythology with Ares, even though she's married to Hephaestus, is kind of silly, goofy how the lovers are portrayed on the disc of the goddess of love. And then finally, the last one, again, this doesn't really have a correlation to the gods that are portrayed on here, but I think that the pairing up is really cool. These are like the actual romantic interests you can have as Zagreus. That's going to be Megara and Thanatos, the god of death. Thanatos is, I believe, the god of death, which is different from god of the dead because he is death itself, basically. He's portrayed with the Grim Reaper's scythe, and he is the one that actually goes out and not murders, but carries out the will of the fates and brings the dead to Charon, who then ferries them to the underworld, is my understanding of it. And they are going to be on the Demeter and Athena. I almost said Apollo. The Demeter and Athena tracks. So yes, Zagreus, bisexual king. We love it. Alrighty, so that concludes my show and tell of all my vinyl records. Please don't judge me for how many there are and or how much I might have spent on all these. I just wanted to share them with you guys and let me be my own person for once. Damn. As always, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to engage with this episode and boost my recognition, boost my engagement, share this podcast with friends, rate me 5 stars, do all the things to make me elevate. And I apologize for the wait. Call it a mid-season break, if you will. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Toodaloo.